Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So last night we did in fact get updated Act 6 rewards. Now here I have taken liberty to piece them together with 6.4 completion rewards. And the fact that 6.4 completion rewards haven't changed, but they still add up to the total rewards. And we're going to go over the main changes, the main improvements, because a lot of them are definitely positive, and then my kind of overall consensus about the rewards. So the first thing, one of the most important things in my opinion, is the fact that we have a 25% tier 5 CC last selector added. So that means that we got 25% of a tier 5 CC added overall. And the fact that it's a selector is quite awesome because you can pick the class, which one you're most likely to farm or whichever one you have the best champions in. So that is definitely extremely relevant. And the fact that the total amount of tier 5 class catalyst fragments in Act 6 has increased from 1.25 to 1.5 now. Now that is definitely a positive change. And another massive change that you will notice majorly, I believe, when you are going through the rewards is the fact that all of the rank 4 to 5 5-star rank up gem crystals have been replaced with 6-star 1 to 2 generic rank up gems, and that is an excellent change. That is a fantastic change due to several reasons. First one being the fact that rank 1 to 2 materials overall add up to more. So for every crystal that changed, you essentially gain a tier 5 basic and you gain a tier 2 alpha and some other bits here and there. So you get more resources per crystal per rank up gem basically. So that's awesome. Second bit is the fact that they are 6 stars now, and that is where we all know the game is headed. And that is great because many people these days are already reluctant or hesitant to take up their 5-star champions, and that being diverted to 6-star champions definitely will make a huge difference. And lastly, perhaps most importantly, and that goes perfectly together with the fact that those are 6 stars, they are not crystals anymore, they are generic ones, and that's huge, especially considering how well it flows with the fact that 6-star rosters currently, for most part, are still quite limited. And if those were rank up gem crystals, it could be a really long time before majority of the people actually can use them effectively. But making them generic ones is perfect because you're going to be able to rank up any good 6-star that you get pretty much immediately, and you don't have to worry whether you have enough tier 2 alphas or tier 5 basics, or you do not have to rank them up because your catalysts are expiring, so on and so forth. So that's a massive great change. That's such a good step in the right direction. Even if you only have 2 6-stars that you want to rank them up, save the generic 6-star rank up gem because it's generic. Whenever you will get to a good 6-star, it will be there and will be guaranteed value for you in the bank immediately for pretty much any occasion in future. So those are extremely valuable in my opinion. I don't think we're going to see too many of those in game, and those should be looked with a proper respect that they deserve, and I think that's a massive and a great change. So overall you get more resources, they are generic, so you are not limited to the classes and much less reliant on the RNG luck and the fact that they are 6-star ones obviously. So yeah, that's fantastic and that is absolutely amazing. And additionally, we can see a Nexus Crystals added, which is great. We get a 5-star Nexus Crystal for completion and a 6-star Nexus Crystal for exploration of Act 6. And that is an addition, and that is a great change. That's a fantastic change. I absolutely love that. Now, 5-star Nexus Crystal, I'll be honest, I am not overly excited about, just because my 5-star roster is extremely extensive and the chances of that 5-star Nexus Crystal being anything more than a max sig ability crystal are fairly slim. But I'm sure it will help out many players to kind of like strengthen the roster, and it's always better to have these Nexus Crystals than the regular ones. Now, however, the surprising addition, the great addition, is 6-star Nexus Crystal. This is the first time we see a 6-star Nexus Crystal in the game, and we all know how tricky it can be to pull a good 6-star, and the fact that this is going to be a Nexus Crystal will heavily improve anybody's chances of acquiring somebody that is worthwhile to rank up. Now, obviously, there will be people who still get screwed by the RNG, and that Nexus Crystal doesn't amount for much. But still, I think it's a very, very positive thing. I'm definitely excited for it. Hopefully, we can get some good pull from it. And that Nexus Crystal is valuable, and it's an addition. They haven't removed any 6-star shards to add it in. So if previously we only get 28,000 6-star shards combined from Act 6 and 6.4, now we get these 28,000 6-star shards plus a 6-star Nexus Crystal, which in my opinion is pretty much equal to 15 to 20k 6-star shards. And that's great. I love it. That is a substantial increase in the 6-star availability in this particular piece of content. And the fact that it gives you better chance to fight against that RNG is fantastic. It's amazing. I think it's a great change. I think that is where they should have started, and that's awesome. Can't wait for everyone's 6-star Nexus Crystal pulls, and then probably there are going to be compilations going about of the best and the worst ones, because surely some people will still get 3 duds or 3 memes and stuff like that, but still, hopefully not me. Hey. And yeah, those are kind of like the major changes. They added 25% Tier 5 CC collector, changed the rank up gems from 5-star, 4 to 5 to 6-star, rank 1 to 2 generic ones, and added 5 and 6-star Nexus Crystals. And overall, that does improve the rewards definitely quite a bit. There are still obvious downsides, and this reward setup is far from perfect in my opinion, because there's still no Tier 5 class catalyst selector, only the 25% one. But okay, we could live with that. The big unfortunate thing is that the Awakening gem is still class-based, which sucks. Which is not great at all, and there's only one 6-star Awakening gem in entire Act 6, which is also extremely poor in my personal opinion, and nothing has changed there. And most importantly, because the 6-star signature stones are still missing. I mean, what gives? Really? That was kind of like my first point of idea, what I think they hopefully can address relatively easily, and that is to add the 6-star signature stones. Because now, again, as it stands, you will be able to take up a 6-star champion to rank 3. You will be able to awaken a 6-star champion and leave them at Sig 1 effectively. That just is fairly shocking. I think the 6-star signature stones should be there. I am extremely disappointed they are still missing even after this rewards revamp, and after the claim that the rewards will focus more heavily on 6 stars, which fair enough, they do to a degree. But lack of 6-star signature stones in a piece of content like this is very odd, very ill-advised in my opinion, and a definite mistake. So that is a definite downfall. Overall, all in all, obviously the rewards are much better. Super happy that I did the revamp, but without any kind of like joke and without any beating around the bushes, these rewards are not great, even now. This is a compromise. This is not a great set of rewards. They are better than they used to be, yes, sure enough, but they are still not what Act 6 rewards should be, in my opinion, currently in the game. Again, this is a compromise. This is Kabam offering us very little, us complaining very loudly, and them offering us a little more. By no extent of meaning, you should think that Kabam all of a sudden is offering us a lot more. No, that's not what this is. That's not what happened. This is a slight improvement in overall rewards, which is good, which is always a positive, and I'm super happy for it, don't get me wrong. Am I happy now with the rewards overall? No. Would I still complain if these were the rewards they would come to us with originally? Like if this was the first post of Act 6 announcement, I would go over these rewards. Would I be happy with them? No. I would still talk about the same points. I would still talk about missing 6-star signature stones. I'd still talk about having only one Awakening gem for 6 stars in entire Act 6, and I'd still talk about only having one TF5CC available for total rewards. So yes, again, make no mistake, these rewards are not Kabam's gift to the player base. These rewards are their version of compromise, and it's a good thing. Once again, it's great that they listened. It's great that we got something more out of this, but by no stretch of extension, these are fabulous rewards that have me wooed and have me falling over on the floor in happiness and smiling and laughing and being in awe. So yeah, it is what it is. It's definitely a lot better, definitely. But there is still a major flaw in them, and even if we are perfectly content with everything that Kabam is offering us, there is one major problem, and that is with that TF5CC class selector, because you acquire it upon completion and you will be forced to select your catalyst fragments upon completion. And that will not work out quite well because you acquire the 25% TF5CC crystal upon exploration of 6.4. And that effectively can negate a lot of potential value that TF5CC selector has there, because you will be forced to choose 25% of whatever class you need upon immediately completing it. And then later on, you're going to be opening a 25% TF5CC catalyst crystal, and then you're going to be opening a full TF5CC crystal. And that is a very stacked way how to distribute these rewards against the player and in favor of Kabam, because you will have to make a choice without knowing the full picture, without knowing the full situation. As in, like, you're gonna pick a mutant class, and then let's say when you open your TF5CC fragment crystal, you're gonna end up with Mystic, still not form a catalyst fully, and then open another mutant, let's say, from your TF5CC crystal, having made that 25% TF5CC selector perfectly useless in this current situation. And there are many examples how it could backfire. The biggest problem is the fact that you will have to make a choice with that 25% TF5CC selector before you know what catalysts you get by exploring the chapter. And I hope, the biggest hope Kabam can do for us is make sure that we receive the 25% TF5CC selector in our mail after completing the event. So if we choose to, we can leave it there and open it at a later date once we actually know which class fragments we form, what we have opened with the rest of the crystals. Because in an ideal situation, the way Act 6 should work out is you explore it, then you open your 25% fragment crystal, you see which class fragments you get, therefore you will be close to forming a catalyst. You open your TF5CC class catalyst crystal, you know which full catalyst you already have, and then you use your 25% selector, selecting the optimal choice for you, a class that you're closest to forming or a class that you will form with this selector, and you can gain an additional rank up sooner. The way it is now, the fact that it is a selector does help if you have a certain preference or if you're already close to forming a catalyst, but it does not help anyone who has, let's say, higher class with less than 75% of a TF5CC. I hope you guys are catching this drift. I don't feel like I'm explaining it too well, but the base idea of the fact that you're going to have to make a selection of what class 25% you want to add before you get to open the second 25% crystal and the full TF5CC is definitely going to be unadvantageous for the players, and that's going to cause a lot of frustration. So ideally, I would definitely wish Kabam sends that selector out in a mail afterwards, and we are able to make our choice after we know the full situation, after we have opened the fragment crystal after we have opened the full TF5cc, and then see what will be the best and wisest investment for those 25% shards. But all that being said, this overall revamp is great, it's good, but it does not change enough of a big picture when it comes to Act 6 comparison to Abyss, and I still definitely personally recommend focusing on Abyss instead of Act 6 or 6.4 in particular, if you are in a position where you have to make the choice. Obviously, if you can do both, great. If you want to pick a piece of content to do first, definitely Abyss. If you are extremely limited in resources and it's going to take you extremely long time to finish either Act 6 or Abyss 100%, I would still focus on Abyss without a question, because the rewards there are far better, far more valuable, and overall Abyss requires less of a time investment, less of a money investment, and it's less demanding on the roster, as partly shown already with my Horsemanless Abyss run, which wasn't too bad, of 4,000 units plus potions from stash. And I'm likely going to do another run with a completely different team, just to demonstrate that you have multiple different options for most of the fights in Abyss. And I still think everybody in the kind of like crossroads with a choice between Act 6 or Abyss, Abyss is the way to go. Abyss is a piece of content you want to focus on, and Act 6.4 rewards increase is great. I'm not complaining about the fact that Kabam listened to the feedback, did increase the rewards, did make them more appropriate, but they did not make them better or more worthwhile than Abyss rewards. And that is the fact of the reality. Abyss is better piece of content that's easier to complete, cheaper, and has better rewards. So Act 6 is still lagging behind. And that's about it. Props to Kabam for taking community's feedback in consideration, taking a step forward. Didn't really reach us all the way to our expectations, but hey, it's progress. Definitely not complaining there. But my piece of advice is still, yes, go with Abyss. And that will be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya.